first and foremost, I would love to continue with the map I was using, and then I'm going to make modification from it, and then I'll proceed from there. So in that way, what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to go ahead and save this particular one as. So I'm going to save it as because I don't want to go on. I just want to keep on with where I stop. So I'm going to go down to where I save it, and I'm just going to save it as, and I will continue. So that's just what I'm going to do. So this is ArcGIS Pro, and I'm going to save it study area map. So I just need to save it as a new copy. So you can see here, these have already been renamed. And here, what I just want you to know is, I want to, if you go to the layout here, you see that I have different layer here, as you can see here. To avoid it wasting time in loading, I might just need to return and then make sure I check this to only have this remaining. And so you can see here that we have this particular layer created like this, and then you can see this up here. I want to create a study area map of this particular location. Maybe I want to show, this is Rwanda, so I want to show only Kigali city, where it is located within here, and also where it is located in Africa, or sort of things like that. So what I just need to do is, the main thing is Kigali city here. I might choose to add other this thing, but I just want to show that my study area is in Kigali city, while this Kigali city is located in Rwanda, or maybe also part of Africa. So what I just need to do is, I'll go ahead here. I have already have Rwanda here, so I can just go ahead now. This is a layer, as you can see. In this layer, I can just decide to rename this layer. So I'm going to say that this layer is Rwanda. Then I'll click OK. So you can see here that this have been renamed to Rwanda for me. Now this is the layout here. Down here where I have Rwanda, here I have layout. So I want to put Rwanda here. I've already done my paper, and you can see this rectangle here. I want to lock it because I want it to remain as a neat line. Now I want to put up Rwanda here. I can just drag this thing the way I'm doing it, and I will stop a bit like this. And then also I'm going to drag it down here halfway. So I'm going to go this way and leave it halfway. Now you see here that this is the framework of Rwanda, as you can see here. Now if you click on this, like I said last time, this is going to start dragging the map. So what you need to do is to switch to this layout here and then click activate. And when you click activate, it only shows you up this, so you can zoom out to make this fit into what it ought to be. Or you can already see Rwanda administration one here. You can right click here on the Rwanda administration, and you can zoom to layer, and this fitting in a perfect layer for you. In that way, I can make adjustment to the scale here by saying this is 220, so I can put it normal 0, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6 here, and I fit it in here. And I see 1:2 million is not fitting in well. I can just do 1:2.2 million. So you can see here, this fitting perfectly Rwanda for me. In this way, I can decide to make a bookmark on it. Now, since I'm working on it, I can create a new bookmark here, and I can put it Rwanda. Why am I putting it in a bookmark? Because I want anytime I return here, when I click on it, it should perfectly zoom to this layer. Now, this is done. This is Rwanda, and if I want to put a legend, so remember you have to go back here off, and then this takes you here, and then you can select this and you can move this in to where you want to move it to. So in my case, I'm going to move this in here if I want to have still retain the legend. So in that way, I can zoom a bit and make adjustment to it. So how do I make adjustment? I can just use this to drag it down to make it suit in with what it ought to be. Now remember, now there is a struggle. What is the struggle? The struggle is that this legend is now, you know why it happened like this, because we talked about this when we're doing the legend aspect. So down here, I'm going to return to layout and activate again. Then I can adjust Rwanda a bit to this right here. So I can make it because I needed to create more space in here so that this can fit in. Then in that way, I'm going to return back to layout, and I'm going to have this here, which is the legend here. So I can adjust the legend a bit so it can fit in. So in that way, you can adjust, and then you can also need to put it up here so that the legend can fit in. So you can see the legend is fitting in here and showing all the things you need to show here as well. So in this way, why is it happening like this? Because I needed to put the font to fit in perfectly. So but as you can see here, I've actually added this legend in a way. So remember how I put on this rectangle, this thing around it. So if you think that it is, you don't want to remove it, you can as well remove it so that it will not be touching the map. Now this is putting Rwanda here. The scale is also here, is locked, so I can lock the legend. Then I can also unlock the scale bar so that I can select it, and if I want to move it to this particular place, I can move it to a place I want it to move. North arrow is also on top of this place and is locked here. I can click on this to remove the north arrow and put it where I want to put it. So that's by the way, but I just want to leave the north arrow here because I'm still going to use it later. Now what do I need to do here? Now if you look here, you see now that you have, this is the layout, this is Rwanda. Now if you look here, you see that you have a new map here which I can use to add a new layer. So in this way, I can go ahead to create on a new layer here to create a new map, and that will be added here for me. Now you see here, I've added a new map here. So this gives me a new fresh map. If I switch to layout, you see now that I have all this here. But in this way, I want to delete it because I don't need it. What I can do is I will go to catalog here. If you go to catalog, open here. So I'm going, this is the one I just created here. So I can delete it. So I'm going to delete this. Now, if you look here, see I have Rwanda here. I can copy the same in the catalog here. And then I can also, I have already copied this one here. So you can see in copy here, I can just come here and make a copy. So if I copy this particular layout, so you can see I can paste it if I want to paste it. So why am I copying it? I just wanted to have a new layer because I don't want to go and start repeating the same thing I did again. So that's why I just want to make a copy here. So I just go ahead and make a copy of this Rwanda layer. So if you copy the Rwanda layer, you can duplicate it if you want to duplicate that. So if you don't want to duplicate that, you go with the first method that I used in here. Now this is Rwanda. I just want you to understand this part very well. This is Rwanda. Now if you go here, you see that each of the layers you have is all here. So that means the layer that you have, each layer that comes in here goes here. Now in here you can see paste here, which gives you a new layer. So what did I do? I copied Rwanda and I pasted it here. Now this is Rwanda 1, but now I want to put this one and I want to rename it and name it as Kigali. So in Kigali city, so I have a new layout now. What is the new layer? You can see down that I have Rwanda and Kigali city. So if you put it up here, the next thing is for you to open it, and when you open it, you can see that you have a Kigali city here. You see here, this is now in Kigali. If you click here, it will switch to Rwanda here. If you click here, it will switch to Kigali city, but you only have one layout here. And what do you need to do here? When you get here and you are in the layout here, so you can go to insert here, and in the insert here, this is map frame that you have here. This is Kigali city layer, this is a Rwanda layer. Now if I want to go to Kigali city layer, so you can see different framework that it have automatically created for me, which is a replicate of this because I duplicated it. Now I want to put Kigali city, so I can go ahead and say I need this one here. Now when I go here, so what I need is to go in here and drag this one and draw it here. So I'm going to draw this around here. So this is map frame 1. Now if you look here, you see that I have a map frame 1 here and a map frame 2 here. This is a map frame 1, which is this Rwanda. For you to know where you are, you can also go to the property here and rename it as well. Now in the renaming, this is the name here, so you can put it Rwanda. So let me type it Rwanda. So if you put up Rwanda here, you can see it renaming here as Rwanda. The same thing happened here, and I can go to property as well, and I can rename it with Kigali City. Now in Kigali City here, you see I've renamed this one to Kigali City. Now what do I need to do here? Now I need only Kigali City. So for the sake of this, because I copy all the head facility, I just want to reduce it to this. Now there are several ways, because from next week we are going to start doing geoprocessing. But I just want you to like get a glimpse of what I'm trying to say here. Now in here, I can make selection. Now how do I make selection? There are two things you need to understand here, that the combination of city, that is the combination of district, will give you Kigali City. So in that way, I have duplicated this particular framework here, so I can choose to only leave Rwanda. So in that way, if you return here to Kigali City here, so you can see you have only this. Then I can decide to add, remember we have downloaded Rwanda shape file somewhere some time ago, so you still need to use that particular shape file which you downloaded. So let me quickly check where I put it. So I think it should be in data to be shared. So you can see Rwanda administration here. So I'm just going to copy this directory and then return back to here, and then in the adding of data here, I can paste the location. So in pasting the location here, that takes me to that particular location. And then I want to use the districts. This is national, provinces, and districts. So administrative 2 can be the district. So I will add up administrative 2. So you can see here that this particular one have given you administration 2. Now I can go ahead to do select. I can select by location, by line. If you want to select by rectangle, that means if I can select this one here, and you can see now that I am on the administrative 2. So if I do by rectangle, I already know where it is located. So Kigali will be selected. If I do by polygon, it means I have to draw a polygon across it, and then Kigali will be selected. If I do by circle, it means I'm going to use circle. Any place the circle touch, that's what is going to be selected. Or I can select by line, means any place the line that things I click touch, that is selected. So but if I don't know this place, because you can be managing a big data set that you don't know where Kigali is located, the reason why I go straight is because I know where it is located. Then I can query by attribute information, so which is going to by the attribute here and put a query, and I'm going to talk about that when we start full time geoprocessing. Now in that way, I already selected Kigali. Now by here, I'm going to go here on the under data. I can just decide to export to this one. So I'm going to right click on this layer. I have selected Kigali admin 2. So I'll just go to click on the location to export it. Now you see here, I have here. So I can decide to create a folder for shapefile, but let me just go ahead and say Kigali City. So I will save it. See here, I'm going to click OK. That's going to export and it's going to close on completion. So if you uncheck this now, you see now that Kigali City have been built. And if you see here, you see this is the base layer we're using, which is here. Now what it means is that if I switch back to this layout, you can see the Kigali City being fitting in here. What do I need to do? I can right click and then I can zoom to layer. So I'm going to zoom to layer, which perfectly fit in Kigali City for me. Now if I want to make the Kigali City in part of area, like putting it up the way I want it, so I can go ahead and then click on this, go to symbology here, and then this is going to come here, and I will say put it by unique colors, and I can now go ahead to change it by the name to, I think that's Kigali City. So you can see here that changed to that if you want to put it in that particular pattern, which is just by choice. So you can see here, and you can see that Kigali City is already here, and you can label it if you want to label it by right clicking or go to labeling tab here. And when you go to labeling tab here, you can change that you want to label it from name to name 1. Remember, for it to label, you need to click on this, and that's going to give you the label. Now here you can see now that is labeling using Kenya Rwanda. Change the name, look for the name that perfectly fit in with the provinces as it shows here. So because if you go to the attribute information, we'll be talking about attribute information next time. Yeah, so if you look at it, see that there is a table here, column here, which is name 2, that give you the right name. So it means that if you go to the labeling tab here, we need to go with name 2. That's going to give you a perfect in Casabo. Now also, I want to label it by boundary. This is a perfect way. So you click by boundary because in some of times you're creating a map, you might choose to label it by a boundary so that it can have an intersection where the boundary it is. So you can make it like this, and you can see here showing you any place it touch Kichichiro, so you can see what is here because you want just to label it by boundary. And there are other things here that we're going to explore. We're going to explore everything here that deals with labeling of labeling. But if not, you can leave it on a basic labeling, which is basic polygon, and that's going to label it perfectly like this for you. So in this case, what did I end up doing? I ended up creating the Kigali city here, as you can see here. Then what next can I do? I can select this. You can see it is a layer on its own. I've created Kigali city. Then I can go to catalog as well here, and you can see Kigali city. I will highlight it like this, and then I am in layout. If I want, I can, this is a new map, I can create a fresh layer, and then or I can return back to where we have this particular one here, this new layout. You can make a copy, and when you copy, when here you can paste like I did earlier. So if you copy this, you paste if you want to just go on with that particular layout, or you can return back to the layout here. You can see here I'm returning back to Kigali here, and I'm going to go to catalog here, right click here, and I can still copy this one. And when you copy, you should be able to paste if you want to duplicate this new part of this layout. But if you don't want to duplicate it, assuming you want to create your own, not the way I did it earlier, then that means you need to go ahead and click on adding a map. So you need to add a fresh map, and when you add a fresh map, you have the third layer. So that's what you can do if you want to get that done that way. So if you go in here, so you can create a new, and you can see here you are creating a new layer, and it is creating a new one for you. So you click there, that's going to create one. The first thing I did was that the other one I created, I did not create new. This one I'm creating a new one. Here you can see that in the catalog here, it have added a new map layer for you here, as you can see here. So in this one, I can decide to rename it. This is renaming here. You can also rename it from here. Go to property, and instead of map here, you are going to type it Africa. So you have it up here. Now what happens again? So that means you need to return, switch back to the layout here. Remember, you only have one layout for now. You can create another layout. That's one advantage of ArcGIS. You can create a new layout which you can choose to keep on working with. But in this way, you can see my own here. I have 1, 2, 3 Africa, and then Rwanda. Now in this part of Africa, I can go ahead to add a data. Now I'm going to show you how where you're going to download African data or African shapefile. But for the meantime, let me just quickly go and get any African shapefile that I have already. So let me check where I have African shapefile. I'm going to show you how we are going to add another how we are going to be exploring shapefile within ArcGIS. But for the meantime, I just want us to start from manual way of getting it done. So I'm copying Africa, and I'm going to add African shapefile here, and you can see here already having African shapefile in here. So if you go to the layout view, you already have this. So what do you need to do? Make sure that you see here you have Africa and rest of them. Now if you go to insert here, you can see insert map frame. You can see African shapefile have been added here to also click on this one and zoom close a bit. Now by the moment you move your cursor here, it have snapped where that is approved. So you can see this small dotted line that will help you show how it is. So you go down, and you can see how it snapped this here for you, and you can also make it the same distance. So putting this thing in this way for you, and it will render Africa. What do you need to do? Right click and zoom to the layer of Africa. Here you can see the way that I did here. Now if it is not okay for you, or it is not fitting in well for you, like I said, make sure you return back to this layer, this map layer here. As you see, you can also rename this one to know which of the map layer frame are you talking about. Look here, and I'm going to rename, and I'm going to type it Africa, and then this is okay. That's rename it Africa for me. Now come back to layout here and click activate. Now this put Africa here for you. So in this way, what am I trying to say? You can zoom in here and put it up here, 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 here. So if it is not okay for you, first what I did was that I can just say zoom to layer to fit in perfectly, and I can drag it right or left. So you can see the way I'm moving it here. Now if I want to fit it in perfectly, I can still go here, like you see here, 25. I'm going to make it 1 2 3 4 5 6 to put it in a perfect circle, what it ought to be, perfect shape. Then I'm going to rename this and put 20, and then I'm going to get this done like this. Here I'm also going to get this done 20. I can make it 15. Now this is big, I need to put 0 there, sorry. Then I put 0 here, and this is smaller. So that means if I make it 15, let me put it 20. That's big. 25, that's still big. 25 0. Oh, what's happened? So let me remove 1 0. No. So for this sake, to just come back to what I'm doing, I'm just going to zoom to layer, and this is 25,000. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 here, put it in 25,000. Now to make it smaller, I change to 20, and this comes up again. To make it a bit bigger, I change it to 18. So that's a mistake. That is 120, that is 119. So this is supposed to be 118, and this fits in better for me. So you can see this is 118, and if I still want to reduce it to fit in more, this is 115. Then remember it's activated here, and it is, so let me just make it 110 here, and this fit in 110 for me. Now if I want to still retain this, I can bookmark it if I want to bookmark. So new bookmark, I can make it Africa in case I want to retain anytime I want to return back to this. So once this is done, I can go ahead and exit this layer here, and you can see here that I have a perfect shape of African Rwanda and this. So in this way, let me take this here, I delete this layout, and this is the shape file here, and you can see Rwanda here and Africa. And then in terms of Africa, you can go ahead and make this Africa here, and then go ahead to show here under Africa here. I'm going to right click here under selection, I'm going to symbology here, select it, and this open up here. And if I want to make it African by unique value, I'm going to make African here by unique value, and I'm going to say put it by country, and that's going to put it on country level for me, and this goes into Africa back. Then what next again? You just need to put information that as it's required, like the way we use it, not arrow and the rest of them. So if you look this now, you see now that you are able to create the African map, which is a study area. Now this can be replicated either under Africa, or can also be replicated either on a local scale. So it is not as related to all parts, like it shouldn't be a map that is going to be Africa. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you can do it for local, like Nyarugenje alone against, you can make it for Nyarugenje alone against other African countries. So you can say Nyarugenje here. If you are going to do Gasabo, you can show Kigali city here and show Rwanda here. So this is basically what you can do as related to labeling. So if you look here, see my labeling is clustered. So I can choose to say make it by code, and you can see the code here, which is by African code. So you can see small things here. So you can reduce the size of the font to fit in with how you want it to be. So this is just basically how to get it done. So if you don't want to put it there, so you can click it on label. So once this is done, so you see you ended up creating this, so you can just return back to your map, and you can already see African here. And if you want to put this down here, which is like putting the base map, remember you can still turn on the base map like this, and the base map for the Africa comes in. And then in Kigali city as well, you open up this one and scroll down a bit, and also turn on the base map to whichever way you want to make it, like you can see here. And the base map, if you are interested in putting the base map, and as well also in Rwanda, open up here as well, go down here and also put up the base map if you are interested in putting up the base map. If you're interested in putting up the base map, so you can put up the base map as you see here, and all will be done. So I'm going to save my map because the map, this thing is getting, yeah, so you can get this done the way this one is. So you can see here, this is what we created. Then what next? You can click export depending on what you want to do, either by PNG or by PDF. So I'm going to change it to PDF, and I'm going to open the document here, the location, and let me copy the location of where we are working. So I'm going to return back to desktop, and here income mappers, internship, and then I'm going to page 2025 and maps, and then in this location is where I want to save it. So I'm going to copy the directory and then return back here, and then I'm going to paste the location where I want to save the direct, and I can say study area map. So this, I can save this, and then it's already in PNG 1000 this, so I can click export, and that's going to export this for me. So like I'm saying in a nutshell, you can do it for Kasabo district, you can do it for Kasabo district Rwanda, you can do it for the entire world map Africa. You can create as many as you want. Assuming you want to put 4 different maps on it here, so you can also do that. It is just by choice. So as you see here, quickly, so you see here, I was having a different map here, but I decided now to bring them down to one simple version. So you can do that same thing by bringing them into a smaller, like bringing them into one particular format. So you can as well do that same thing. I'm just trying to looking for something. So you can see here, this is just like a study area map, like I'm trying to explain. So you see here that I'm talking about here, I can put this thing into different frames. So you see here that I put here Africa, that is showing Rwanda here, and then I put here as the study area, which is the part of northern province, and then I put elevation here, elevation map, and then here I put up the geological map of the place. Then this is the study area, mining area, and then so this is exactly what I'm saying. So you can put it in different frame, as you see what I did here. So you put this in this different frame. It must not be 3 like I did. You can make it 4 depending on how many you are interested in putting. So if you look here, see we have exported our map. Yeah, it has been exported, and if you go down to where we are working on the location, you should be able to see the map exported. So let me just go to home, and then I should see the map exported. So this is the study area map here. Guess this is it. Oh, this is not. Yeah, so if you go to the location where you save it, you should be able to see the output of what we have actually done right now. So this is a perfect way of working on study area map, but like I said, we are going to explore more on how to get it done. So this is the output of what we just did now. So fit it to paper. So this is the study area of what we did now. So you can see here, study area Rwanda. You see here, here the Gasabo districts, Nyarugenge, that's Kigali city, and then the world. Now in this other part, quickly, you see here that we have these things here, and then you can see Kigali city here. So if I want to point this to Kigali city, you see here they are not showing the same color, but that's just time. You can arrange it the way you want it. First and foremost, this health facility is supposed to be removed. If I want to have this repeated color here, I can just decide to select this Kigali city here, right click on it, and then do copy, return back to this layer of Rwanda, and then paste this in the new layer of Rwanda. That means come to Rwanda and you paste it. So you see this and this have the same color, and this is what I want to point out to. So I can go ahead now and uncheck this not to label. So you see here I've removed it here and it's not labeled in it. Now what do I need to do? If I want to point the arrow to here, go ahead here. You see this here, you can open here and see the line here you draw. You can make it by horizontal or curve, so you can see here arc. So it means if you click here, you are trying to refer to this, so you can click here first, click on where you want it to curve, second, the third one here. So I'm trying to refer that this is located here. Then you go to the property, which is you can just go to elements here, and you can see this is it here, and you can change the visibility to how you want it to look. Symbol arc here, which you can do here, changing it here. Now the next thing is I want to put Rwanda. Rwanda is located somewhere around here. I can also put another shape of my choice to indicate what I'm talking about, so you can see some of those things in the map. So I'm going to return to Africa here. I'm going to zoom close to where Rwanda is located, somewhere here. You can see Rwanda here. I can click on it and drag. When I click on it, and I can drag the circle around it. So circle, click on it and drag it. So this is where Rwanda is pointed to. So you can see here, I'm trying to highlight where Rwanda is located. Now you can see where Rwanda is located here. I can point it out here. Now if I want to drag a line as well to put it here, I can also drag the line and put it here. So this is what I mean by this is where Rwanda is located. For those times you see this to see line. If I want to blow it or put something bigger here, go to insert here. This is a new layout here. If I want to make like a kind of big insertion here, look here, I have rectangle here. I can say put it in a circle. I can draw the circle somewhere around here like this. Now when I draw the circle around here, it added a new layer for me. You can see it have added a new layer automatically for me. Look at the new layer here. Now that new layer here is I can put it here. If I assume I want to make a bigger insertion here. Now what happens? That new layer I've added a rectangle. Let's explore the layout here. This is Rwanda Health Facility, which is a new layer. This is new map layer that I've just added. So let me click here. See Africa here, close. See Kigali here, close it. See Rwanda here, close it up here. Now let's explore the layer. You see here, map frame layer is this one. So you can see the new layer I've added here. So open it up here. You see Africa as a continent here. Now what I'm saying is that you can uncheck this. Let me uncheck this and leave it blank. Now I can go to this new layer I selected, Africa now, open attribute information, and then go to look for Rwanda because I'm interested in Rwanda. So I'm going down here and I'm going to Rwanda here. So Rwanda should be under area. Select it here by clicking on this line, and I can right click on it and I can say zoom to. If you zoom to, so you're going to pan to, sorry, I'm just going to zoom to that layer. Now what I'm saying is that if you look at this layer here, I'm trying to zoom to this layer. So you see Kigali, Rwanda is selected. So if I want to put it here like something bigger, I can put it up here, like extruding that part of Rwanda. This is where I want its part to be. So I can put it up that way on that layer, and then I should be able to see it better here. So it depends on how you want to design it. So in that way, when you see other different types of map, and then you can choose how do you want to explore the map. So what I'm saying is that you see here that I have Africa, and then I can say here where is this these two. So I'll return here on the layout here, and you can see here that I have actually gone this and then trying to zoom Kigali from what I have from here as an extraction. So if you look this, you see now that this is Africa map, and I'm zooming Kigali because Rwanda, because I want to show the Rwanda that I'm talking about. So you can do this, and then you should be able to put Rwanda the way it is. So you can drag this a bit here, and if it is big, this is bigger than the fitting in, and I can decide to make this to be 7 in order to fit it here. So what I'm saying is that I can clear it, and you can see that I am trying to tell anybody that is looking here that the African map, because of the way it is small, I am referring to Rwanda here. So you see, maybe in this way, I might not need to put this one from here to here. So I can just decide to tell you that the Rwanda that we are referring to that is smaller here, this is what it means. So I can decide to draw a line directly. So I'm just trying to see some possibility you used to see on the map. How does it come about? This is the way it comes about. So I'm trying to say that Rwanda is here, and the Rwanda located here is in this part of Africa. So this, you can put it where you want to put it, like this, and then you can make it touching it. Anyhow you want to put it, you just leave it for you. So you can see now I'm talking about this Rwanda is located, this is the big extraction of where it's located, and then I can go ahead and say put up the shape of this Rwanda. So you can see what I'm doing up here. So I'm putting it up here. So once I put it up here, it is trying to show you that this one is located here and this is located. So generally, this is a way you can build your study area map. So I'll be stopping here.